The thing that needs to be considered is, does the ability to connect electronically with someone take the place of physically being connected? And I don't think that it does. I think nothing will match the importance and the value of looking at someone face to face, being able to read their body language, being able to hug somebody, being able to just be with somebody. Last night, someone said, you know, I finally went onto Second Life, which is virtual world. I went onto Second Life and I was amazed at how emotional it was. I said, okay, what do you mean by that? And he said, well, there's really something very powerful, even in a virtual environment, of being side by side next to another breathing, thinking, feeling being, even if it's just an avatar. And I said, okay, but how does that relate to sitting across from me at a table? He said, oh no, it's not the same at all. And I hope that in a span of 2 generations, that we don't have people that have become so heavily enmeshed with their technology that they have forgotten how to interact on a human basis. I think we want to find what the balance is between adopting and adapting to this amazing technology that keeps getting bigger and better and more pervasive, while still being able to retain our basic humanity. I never want to have a long-distance relationship with someone and feel that I'm really connected to them just because we've spoken on the phone. It's definitely better than nothing, but it's not the same as being there. Mobile technology has redefined time into what I would call micro time. Things happen so quickly. It's literally in the blink of an eye. I mean, we have changed culture already in the blink of an eye just by texting. Things happen so preposterously fast that we now look at faxes, which in 1985 were extraordinary. Faxes replaced overnight mail and bicycle messengers and having to make photocopies and sending them across the world. You could send a fax and people would stand around a fax machine and just watch the paper as it fed through because it was so amazing. Now, people are not even using the voice element on their mobile phones because it's not fast enough. They can send a text. This is something worth sitting up and paying attention to, because if it gets any faster, we're just going to be telepathing each other, which I'm all for telepathing. But Moore's law is an accepted theorem in the technology world that approximately every 18 to 24 months, technology is doubling in its speed and capacity. I'm sure I've somehow gotten that wrong, but people will know what I'm talking about. Things are happening so fast in mobile in terms of time compression that we're now to a 6-month window. Products come out and within 6 months, they're obsolete because a newer, better, faster, more interesting gizmo has been added, and once it is popularly accepted, there's no going back. If people like what they are using, anything else is just, unfortunately, garbage at a certain point. One of the things that I've talked about is with micro time, you get fragmentation. And I think that has a negative effect on our communities as well as a positive effect on our communities. Negatively, you can't get people to pay attention for more than a microsecond of time. So in terms of long-term attention, long-term initiatives, politically, I think this is really interesting. With the advent of blogging and tweeting and instant reportage on activity as it has just happened, literally just happened, there is no time for a player in any scene to have any recovery before the pundits start weighing in. And if the pundits don't get it right, or even if the population who's tweeting and blogging about it picks up on, I don't want to say the wrong aspect of it, but perhaps not the most salient aspect of it, you get an entire groundswell of discussion and conversation and argument all about really unimportant things. It's the difference between strategy and tactics. A strategy is a long-term plan, and a tactic is one way in which you're going to achieve that strategy. Unfortunately, the micro time, as it is applied to tactics, is so overwhelming in its microscopic dissection of what it was that just happened, that it's very easy to lose the broader picture and to throw the longer-term strategy off the track, not because it was on the wrong track, not because it shouldn't be on a track, but you spend so much time doing damage control over the least important things that by the time you're ready to get to tactic 2 and 3 and 4, people are maxed out because they don't have the attention spans that they used to. On the other hand, you do have people using their mobile technologies, whether it's their phones, their computers, or their computers onto their phones and where they go. You have them forming new kinds of communities that didn't exist in the past. And I think there are benefits to that. I was reading online about a lovely young Dutch woman who had cystic fibrosis, and she decided to blog her life and the demise of her life on a blog so that she could reach other people around the world who had the same thing or similar chronic illnesses. And she passed away about a month ago in March of 2010. But because she is this younger generation that is so comfortable with personal transparency, she was very comfortable blogging about some of the most physically intimate and uncomfortable moments of her life, as well as the process of what it is or was for her to pass through this life. And her intention was to reach out to other people to help them understand what she was going through so that they could understand perhaps what they are going through or might have to look forward to. And in that sense, the mobile communities are extraordinary. And I think their power and capacity hasn't yet been reached. I think developmentally or evolution-wise, we are connecting now with our mobiles to identify who other people are. We are connecting to become fans of something or to support something. But there is a criticism that all of this social networking doesn't necessarily accomplish anything. It's starting to. There are lots of young people, lots of not so young people that are finding ways to identify communities, organize communities, and make things happen. I think it will be a new social structure that's out there. But with every social network, with every mobile social network, questions come up, as in, do you have any expectation of ever meeting these people? Do you want to meet these people? Is there a benefit in not meeting these people?